resigning. This is the best news that I've received in a long time. As you may have noticed, I had suggested that he be fired many months ago. And there's a lot of reasons for him to be fired. First, he signed a FISA warrant that was based on Russian dirt that was collected by a firm, GPS, Fusion GPS, which Hillary Clinton had hired. And if we can use opposition research dirt to smear candidates and then use the government to publicize these false allegations, then our republic is doomed. You cannot have one candidate in a presidential election using the government to introduce dirt. If they want to introduce dirt, they have to do it publicly, and they have to be exposed for introducing Russian gossip or dirt, not use the government to cloak it in legitimacy, and use the government to spy on the opponent, on the opposing candidate. This is the worst thing that's happened in America for decades. Much worse than Watergate. This is a disaster. And this guy, Rosenstein, the guy who named Mueller to do this a witch hunt that they have going on to smear Trump and to make him ineffective, has been going on. And now finally, maybe somebody who can straighten this nonsense out and end this witch hunt will be named. Because as far as I know, the next person in line after Rosenstein is not a Democrat partisan, diehard, never Trumper, and they will probably enforce a proper criteria for this Mueller witch hunt, which we don't even know what the extent is, because he gave secret information about what his scope was. He never shared the scope. It was supposed to be to study Russian interference in the elections and Trump's collusion or involvement in this interference by the Russians in our elections. But then he expanded it. That's why you have Manafort prosecuted. It had nothing to do with the Russians' interference with any election in the United States. It happened, more than a decade ago. So this is great news, and I just wanted to share it with you all. I've done plenty of monologues on this subject, Spygate, how we can get rid of Rosenstein, and we should, how to get rid of Mueller, and we should. All these things, how making public all this corruption that went on in the top echelons of the DOJ. And so finally, this last resignation apparently came from the disclosure by the New York Times that Rosenstein was planning to wear a wire and was thinking about organizing the destitution, the elimination of Trump based on the 25th Amendment, which is preposterous because he's obviously in his faculties. That's supposed to be when the president has lost his faculties and there's no other way, and we have to go to the vice president, and that requires a whole bunch of approvals by the Congress and cabinet. It was never going to happen, but the fact that they were thinking about this is incredible. And so this all came to light, and now Rosenstein seems to be out. It's been reported that he is resigning, and I can't think of any better news, because this whole cabal in the Justice Department and the FBI to spy on a candidate for president and then spy on the president himself is just incredible. I mean, and the fact that the mainstream media doesn't pay any attention to it, and just a few people in Fox News and in the rest of the media are publicizing this disaster, this corruption, this low level, the lowest level that the U.S. has sunk in so long, that the government has been doing this, is just incredible. So I think I wanted to share this great news with you, and it required a special little monologue to share my joy with you. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Bye.